I have done a lot of road races and a fair amount of triathlons. And I did track in high school, and through all these kinds of things, you acquire t-shirts galore, like this one. And now I have a tote full of them. I was stacking them nicely. That fell apart. And I've just kind of kept this big tote of my t-shirts around because I'm trying to already downsize on the amount of clothes that I own. I might turn some into rags, but just throwing them out, consigning them. I don't want to consign them. But if I could just have like, oh, here's a big blanket, and that's like 2/3 of all the running shirts I've ever got. That at least I could do something. The point of the matter is, I want to wear them all for one last time. Some of them I may have never actually even worn. But I have ones from like 2013, 14, years back, and I'm gonna wear them all. I'm gonna take them on a run, at least like a track workout, interval workout, a long run, something. The first thing I gotta do is I'm gonna organize them a little bit by year, essentially. So I'm gonna do them in order, chronological order, starting with wee little 14 or 15-year-old me. I think I was 15. I may have been 14 the first time I really did a road race, and it's in there somewhere, I'm pretty sure. So let's begin. Sugar. I'm trying to create a pile by year. Oh no, there's not a date on this one. Dirt Ranch for I forgot these races existed. Cool, 23rd annual. But what year? Cool, Oktoberfest Triathlon. You're not telling me when you happened. Just says since 08. This is a shirt that I destroyed, and I wish I hadn't, because it's cool. 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2019. Also, my apple's not even done yet. And my first one, which I'm about to go wear. I'm going to get them all put back in order so I can just take them all out one at a time. The first shirt I kind of even didn't want to do because I didn't run it. I didn't run it slow. I walked it. I was not running at all yet. I walked it, I think, with my mom. It's the first one. I don't like that it's the first one, but I got a shirt for it. I'm probably gonna turn it into a dish rag. That was awesome. That was the furthest Josie's ever run. Commemorating my first 5K, Josie ran her first 5 miles. Good girl. This race, my sister convinced me to do. I think the longest I had to run was a mile, or 2 miles tops. Maybe only 1.5 miles. Donkey Creek Jazz Festival. Don't know anything about the festival. I was just, it's my home city. There's a 5K. My sister's like, you should do a 5K. Since the year before, I tried sprinting as a high school sophomore, and I just hurt myself. 2013. 8 years since my first 5K. Got a lot more shirts to get through. The problem with taking her on runs is she's getting in better and better shape, and she always pulls me. 2013 turkey trot. I probably did this either with my sister or my dad. I always liked it because it was early Thanksgiving Day morning, and you would go do the run, and then you'd go home and eat a lot of food, and that's like 90% of the components you need for a great day. So, Josie, you're being really goofy right now. You know that? You're a goof. 7 miles. It just started to snow just now. It's beautiful out. I haven't run 7 miles in 5 years. New Year's Eve, Midnight Edge. So they have a Razor. Also, it's Razor City. 2013, 2014, they start the gun at midnight, and then everyone starts ringing their bells. Ding, 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 Happy New Year! Such a fun race. It's also really, really icy, so everyone runs it really slow. You're not trying to win. I enjoyed this one. Probably ran like 26 or something, 27. Did it with my sister again. I think she beat me by like a minute or 2. And I was hooked. They had like raffles, they had tons and tons of snacks and hot chocolate. 4 miles, Boulder. A race where pacing has always been really important for me. And actually the race is where I really learned how to pace, because you don't have to pace on a 5K fun run. 2014, first year I did it, first 10K, and in my first one I think I did, I want to say like a 54 or something. I've done it several times since then, and I love it. It's canceled this year, which is stupid. Moving on. finished a brick, got the bike behind me, hour and 10 on the bike, and about 10 minutes running. It ended up being about a mile and a half. I want to be running half marathons around 7 pace, so we'll get there. The Spring Zinger. It was also really fun because it was in the McDonald's parking lot, and then you'd go off and do this course. In the last quarter of a mile, you'd have a just nasty uphill, super short, but man, it took you like a minute or more to get up, and it was just about push you back down to walking speed. And then right at the top was about that 1/10 to 2/10 of a mile sprint to the finish. It's almost May and it's freezing cold. Buffalo Stampede, held by the Durham Ranch, south of Gillette, Wyoming. It was a 5K, 10K. I only ever did the 5K. I did it, I think, twice. I really enjoyed it. I did it with my sister, and a bunch of my track and cross country teammates would do it. It was out of town, so it was on a dirt course instead of most of the 5Ks I did by the age of 18, which were in town on cement. So I always enjoyed that. It was a fun one. I think afterwards they had buffalo burgers for everyone. 6 miles today. First half was a battle. Well, second half was a battle too. I was just going faster. Pronghorn painted 5K. This one was not very big. It was like legit a fun run, and none of my track teammates did it. None of the college kids did it, and I won it with like probably a 22 or a 23, and I was so proud. I was in the front for the first time in my life, and since then the only time in my life. I think it was a professor from the college, was on his road bike leading the front. That powder dye stuff, and I remember blowing snot out. That was either green or pink for the next 2 days. It was a good amount of confidence for 16 or 17-year-old me. Josie, come on. This I only wore for 1 mile because it's like 60 degrees out, which is way too hot for me. 2014 Donkey Creek Festival 5K. So this must be the second time I did it. I don't remember it. Here it is. Garage has been reorganized. Just did 8 miles. Felt great, other than my knees are getting a little bit tired. Big O tires. I wish I remembered more about this race. I'm pretty sure it's the second time I did this one. I have a good story that I'm gonna save. This is the shirt, I got nothing else. Time to eat some ice cream. Threw a TV in here. That's pretty cool. Just did 4 miles with Josie. It was a good time, except she was going too fast and was making me heel strike. Black Hill State cross country, the Yellow Jackets. So that's Black Hill State University in South Dakota did a cross country camp. It was like end of summer, I guess. It was like August probably. But I broke my foot. That's the big thing. I jumped in a pool that was like 2 feet deep, and I thought it was like 6 feet deep, and I broke the outside of my right foot, and I was in a boot for about 40 days. Then I joined cross country in about the last 3 weeks of it, and I was really bummed. 6 miles, slow recovery run. It's hot, it's really hot. So it was a good run, other than I had to fast for the first half of the day because I did a biometric screening and they took my blood, and I couldn't eat until about 1:30. We have Campbell County 4A East Regional Cross Country 2014. Yeah, regionals. I went to that. That was cool. I think I only did 2 races in cross country because of my broken foot, and this was my last one. I like how it says on the back, Wyoming cross country, no half times, no timeouts, no substitutions. It must be the only true sport. Anonymous. Gillette's a weird town. I still like it, but it's weird. I'm gonna go ice my feet. 2 miles, run off the bike, biked for 38 minutes. We were hitting like 6:30, 6:40. That was a good time. Campbell County Cross Country 2014. I made a lot of good friends then. I learned a lot about running and physiology and nutrition, and knew I was hooked. Wanted to run in college. After this, wanted to do cross country, if not track. But I think that was just destined to never happen, so moving on. Okay. Jogging, curve, sprinting the straights. It's about 2 miles of kind of fartlek-y goodness. Not coming to you from the garage today because I've got to go to Walmart after this and then back to work. 2014 Turkey Trot. So it's been right after cross country ended. into Thanksgiving, you know. I think this year it was crazy slick and people were like falling. Yeah, I might do it this year. I haven't done it since probably, I may have done it 2015. Actually, I don't know. We'll get there. Happy May 10th. It's still snowing. I had a friend drop me 10 miles away from my house and I just ran back. Oh, those last 2-3 miles felt really long. Like I'm freezing cold and it's probably like 55, 60 out. My body has just completely stopped producing energy. What does this even say? Campbell County School District, the Jingle Bell Run 5K, 3rd annual. If I recall, it was snowing. One of my track teammates who was 2 years younger than me smoked me because they were all better in the 5K than me. So I'm gonna go probably eat a bunch of pizzas and ice my feet. 6 miles. I ate 2 bugs and was not happy about it. It was really hot. I was really sweaty. I had to poop for the last half mile. I'm having to run when it's dark because it's getting up to 90 already. I tried to make a stringer out of it when I was 18. I was an idiot when I was 18, like full stop. I was just a fool. BHSU, I remember this meet. I remember buying it, and I really enjoyed their track. Really enjoyed the meet. It was good with all my buddies. I pulled my quad one time, but I still made it work. I'm not wearing this. It's gonna get probably thrown away at some point. My roommate is getting his delivery food right this second. My dog is losing her mind. Did a brick, an hour on the bike, outside in the wind on the hills, and then I did 3 miles just as fast as I could. Oh, I was booking. Yeah, a month ago I couldn't hardly run a 1.5 miles under 8 pace. Wyoming State Indoor Track and Field Championships 2015. I made it in the 800 and the mile, and then I woke up the day of both my races and I was sick, very. It was hard to get out of bed, and I ran like a 6 or 7 minute mile. And I think I may have pulled out of the 800, I don't know. I felt like trash. Yeah, it was a fun year and the end of my last year doing indoor track. Today I did 2 hours and 20 minutes on the bike, just about. I watched The Mummy. It was such a good movie, never seen it. Then got off and did 2 miles. We're into, I think, a bunch of 5K shirts now, and then we'll be into college and triathlon. And then we have today's, which is the 5K run, race and walk, McDonald's Spring Zinger. I'm pretty sure this is where I set my PR of essentially a 20 flat in the 5K. Still trying to get below that. Oh, and a palindrome of a date. I just noticed that. 10 miles. I wore this shirt for about 2 miles and then I just carried it, but it was with me, so it counts. Universal Athletic 5K. I did this race at least twice, maybe 3 times, I think just twice. I think my picture's in the paper of this one. I have a clipping cut out from the newspaper. I remember, if this is the race I'm thinking of, I remember it being bloody hot. Bah! It's been a year on the calendar. After Phoenix, I just kind of stopped running. And now I'm starting again. I've been lifting like a madman and just kind of losing it. So, this boy. It's a 2 mile race, which is really fitting that I ran 2 miles tonight. Thought it would be worse than it was, but I lived. One of the feet don't fail me nows, which I've done probably like a dozen of. I think I'm still getting over strep throat. 2015. Mile uphill, mile back. Now we got the Boulder 2015. I think I already did the 2014 one, so, you know, it's the same race. Probably PR'd this year. I think I ran like a 48. Or they were just like hucking shirts left and right. Yeah, so it's really just another shirt from the Boulder. Oh, I just ran 3 miles. It felt amazing. Memory of the 8. This was for a college scholarship I got. Do you actually get these for doing the 8 mile race in Gillette? I actually never did it, though every one of my teammates always did it. I don't know why. I think I was scared of running 8 miles. Doesn't matter. Dropped out of college. So, I'm doing another one. This 2015 4 mile Gillette Physical Therapy. I gotta at least, I'm not gonna go for a run with it, but I'm gonna humiliate myself one final time with this thing that I'll probably never do anything with. Oh my god, even if I'm huge, I won't wear this. This looks stupid. Just got back from the run. Wyoming triathlon team. Oh, we have to put the elevation on the shirt, they all said. We have to put the elevation on the shirt. When I joined in 2015, we were sort of revamping the club. They had been banned for like a few years because when they used to exist, probably in 2012, 2013, they went to Lake Havasu, which is our regionals, and they used all the university funding to rent an expensive like lake house and have a bunch of partying, and the university was like, no, it's bad, and they shut them down. And a couple years later, They're like, all right, you be good, you can be a team again. And I was one of the founding members that year. Little freshy man. Go Pokes! Pumpkin Man, triathlon, 2015. Just got back from 4 miles, it felt great. First triathlon I ever did. Did with the UW Tri team, which I joined like 3 weeks into college because I wasn't fast enough to be on the track team. I did the sprint. I had to learn how to swim to do triathlon. So since I went from 7,000 feet to sea level, the swim was awesome. It was a blast. I loved it, had no problems. Except I had left my contacts at where we stayed the night before, since this was down in Arizona? Arizona. Nevada is down in Nevada. So I had to wear glasses for this triathlon. I just put my goggles on. I could not see in the water because I'm like 3 times over legally blind. And all I could do was follow the person in front of me because I couldn't see the buoys until I was like 20 feet away from them. So that was kind of spooky, but sprint, swim distance, it's over in a minute. The bike took me out. What is it, like 12? Is it 12 something? At the end of it's all uphill. Took me out. Got off, suffered through a 5K, finished. I thought, wow, that was cocaine. That was awesome. I want to do that again. It was just complete adrenaline high. It's a nuts course. Triathlete, that's what it says. Turkey Tri. There's some junk on the back. This was the only relay I've done to date. It was technically my second triathlon I participated in. This one I did the run, just a 5K, because most of my teammates, we had like swimmers who were zoom. In fact, we had the first guy out of the water. I think our first 2 or 3 guys out of the water were ours. So it was a relay duel against Brigham Young University. I believe we ran a perfect tie. And I got to do this little 5K, go to Provo and Orem, I think, for the first time. It was really pretty there. Just really good memories from freshman year of college. So, nice sweaty 2 miles. Turkey Trot, 2015. Did it before and I'll do it again. Colder Boulder, 2015. Yeah, it's very fitting that today's the day that I ran with this shirt because, so I did the Colder Boulder, which is a 5K you get invited to if you've done the Boulder in like mid-December. Went and did it this one year. What's really funny is I had like head cold or the flu or something, and I just could barely trot. I was really not that sick, but I overheated even though it was like 30 degrees and I was sweating. And I kind of have a chest cold going on right now, and I'm hacking up phlegm. I thought I'd finish this like October last year, and here it is, May. Over a year into this project, Lake Havasu. Just ran 2 miles. I'm very scotched up. So this race is significant because it's my first ever Olympic distance triathlon, March 19th, 2016. That was freaking over 6 years ago. I feel old, and that does not feel like it was that long ago. I love 10Ks. So Olympic distance triathlon, they're great. I don't see myself doing a lot more in the future. Really fell in love with 70.3, but here we are. Boom! The Without Limits Harvest Moon. First 70.3. I remember being midway through my 2016 season, and after having knocked out, I think, 2 Olympics, I told my coach, like, I want to go bigger. And so when I told her I wanted to do a 70.3, she was like, yes! Go forth, my little minion. This was mentally the hardest race I've ever done. Not necessarily the hardest I performed, because I kept going. The swim, piece of cake, 40 minutes, 3 hours crisp on the bike. When I got off, I went to do like a little leg stretchy thing, and when I let go of my hand, my leg just caught and hung there. My hamstring froze, and I fell over. Screamed. I got up, shook it back out, started trotting. A quarter of a mile later, I realized my body is giving up on me. I kept seizing up. I was totally confident I was going to throw up and never did. I stopped sweating. Basically walked the half marathon. Finished, had like a 1-year sunburn. Done it twice now, and if I could only do 1 triathlon, just continually for the rest of my life, it'd probably be this one. It's fantastic, love it. It's smaller than the Ironman circuit. All Out Mardi Crawl 2017. I think this is my first race of the new year. It was a 5K. I ran it. One of my teammates finished the 10K. and he was bleeding from underneath his short shorts so bad. He was chafing so bad there was blood just running down his leg, and he was just like, ha ha, chafing pretty bad, bud. Oktoberfest triathlon. I think I just did 12 miles. I think this was the triathlon. It was one of the last sprints I think I ever did. It was really cold, and when we got out, it was like raining, like cold, cloudy and raining. And you had to take your bikes on this little, maybe it was barely 100 feet of gravel dirt to get onto the cement where the real bike route started. And it was all muddy, and I'm clip, clop, running in my clip-in shoes. And they're getting full of mud and gravel, and my bike's getting all wet and gross. And that was a tough one because I froze on the bike. You start going fast and it's cold, it's raining, it's like 45 degrees or something. We're all freezing. And I jumped off, and I think midway through the run, the sun came out, we all warmed up. It was slow, it was wet, it was gross, had a great time. Oktoberfest, I think I'd only done it one time. Lake Havasu 2017, set my Olympic PR. Maybe the last Olympic that I ever did as well. No, second to last. Pumpkin Man. This was the second time I did it. I figured, yeah, my first ever triathlon. I did a sprint, let's do an Olympic. I did. It's probably one of my worst physical performances of any race. Oh boy, I had to get off my bike, walk it up the hill at the end. It's got a notoriously insane, it's like the last mile, 2 miles. It's really short. The last end of the bike leg is just boom, you just go, oh my gosh. And then I suffered through a 10K. Terrible race. Look at this thing. Don't know how I ever ran in the summer without it. Found a fishing lure while running, and I just hooked it on the vest. New Panther Martin for me, boys. So it's very fitting. I just did 6 miles, 10K. Well, there's only a couple in 2018. This is it for 2019. And next, I don't even think we have 2020. We'll see. Let's find out. Harvest Moon. Yes, Harvest Moon. Second time I've done it. Just last year. If I can only do one triathlon for the rest of my life, it'd probably be this one. It's a Boulder, it's 7.3. It's awesome. Here she is. Where's that? Tempe, Arizona, 70.3 half Ironman. Holy cow, am I sweaty. This is where I've left it off in the triathlon world. Holy cow, it's been that long. This is just over a year ago. No, sorry, under. It hasn't been a year. 6:44. It's my 70.3 PR. My name is on there somewhere, along with the name of everyone who signed up. I like the Boulder Reservoir 70.3 better Harvest Moon that I've done twice. Ironman, it's just a lot of people. It's really big. And I hated Phoenix. We're near the end. Boulder 2022. Just did it a few months ago. Slowest 10K of my life. One of the most fun though. I think it was like 61 minutes. I stopped for a muffin, a high five to Elvis. I cheered for all the bands, all the cool stuff, and then afterward, I got absolutely snockered on 3 beers. I've done it enough time. I'm probably done with this race. I've done it enough times. Woo! Alrighty, everybody. The last shirt. Just went for a nice 2-mile run. It is December 1st. I started this series a year and 9-10 months ago. Something like it was close to 2 years. That's what matters. This is the Oil Man triathlon in Texas. I went there, some stuff in the back, to do it with my family. We did it as a relay. This time, I was supposed to bike, then I was supposed to run, then bike, then run, and then my sister couldn't decide. So I biked, because I was the only person who could bike for 56 miles. And we drove the course the day before, and my family kind of freaked out, like, oh my gosh, it's so far. And I'm like, yeah. That's why people do it. It's hard. So yeah, didn't like it. In Texas, you just share the road with cars. And I mean, as in no shoulder, no. You're over the white line is a ditch. Texas is stupid, it's too hot. I guess I'm spoiled by Colorado and Arizona where you have these massive bike lanes, like these 5-6 feet wide areas where you can just pass people and not be out on the road. And in this case, cars were backed up before us, or you were trying to be right next to a truck's passenger side, and it felt very just explicitly dangerous. The swim looked cool, which my dad did, and my sister did the half marathon. Yeah, it was 70.3. That was way too hot, and I drank a bunch of beer. But that is only the second race I've done this year. I was gonna do an ultra. I've been running, but I just kind of been treating my body bad in a lot of other ways, so we're not quite there yet. I ran 17 miles in November. Is the longest I've run ever so far, and I don't think 17 means I'm ready for 31. So we'll see about that maybe next year. But this has been 10 years of every endurance race I've ever done, minus, I mean, all of my track meets as a kid. Like, I only got a shirt for like, what, 2 of them? Counting, maybe like 2 or 3 counting cross-country camps. Yeah, I started this project like 2 years ago. We've literally made it from year 8 to year 10 in my endurance kind of career, my hobby career. You know, I want to encourage people to get into endurance sports. This hasn't just been like a, hey, look at me, guys, look at all my cool shirts, I'm so great. I'm not even like very fast. It's just fun. It's great for your body. Last year when I started doing my 70.3 training, it was mostly because I was going through a miserable breakup. The breakup had happened, and I was absolutely miserable, and I was sober for a year, and I had no way of dealing with like the anguish, and so I just started biking for hours and going back to like doing like, I was only running maybe like 6 or 10 miles, but stay healthy. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see future videos like this. I don't know if I've put up my triathlon video yet, my triathlon season vlog that I shot in 2021. Now it's almost 2023 and I haven't even sat down to edit it. So who knows what video is coming out first, but thank you guys for watching. Wah!